When I started on Zwift, they were so excited, coming and watching. What's Mummy doing? Look, she's on the screen. That's Mummy. Which one? The one in that T-shirt. So they were really excited. There's a yellowfish. Can you see the yellowfish? Aye. Can you see? I didn't do any riding outside. I didn't do any competitions. I hardly, I'd never been on a road bike outside on the road. And only then, once I got the confidence on the turbo trainer, that I got some power in my legs and I feel confident on the road bike, then I went outside. Joining the Zwift Academy will get me to do that number of exercises in a certain time for me to be able to then, I can sign up to do the triathlon. I signed for a few triathlons. I started first duathlon, and then I did 3 local triathlons. And you progress because you keep cycling on Zwift and you get better and better, so that will reflect in your outside ride. It's like cycling outside, but not having to concentrate on the cars, on the wind and the temperature. You controlling that yourself. Sometimes you think you sign for things and then you go, you get bored of it and you never finish things. But I think having the goal of with everyone else to finish something and you see their progress, your progress, just people encourage each other and they go, yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, just do your best. Because it's not just the physical side to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
You love it, don't you?
I love it.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race on this July 20th, 2017. Riders are out on the Richmond Worlds course today. Super exciting course to be racing on. It is definitely a fast and furious course that has a lot of tactics as well as some crazy climbs at the finish of the race. So let's get right into the action. The riders in the A category have just gotten going. We will be having a rider, or at least a camera, on the A category. We also be having a camera on the C category today as well. Good to see everybody hanging out over at the Zwift Facebook as well as over on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. We will be paying attention to the Mixer channel, the Facebook channel, as well as the Twitch channel. We do have our social media integration today. I'm just getting that loaded up. And as we do, you can bring in your comments over at Facebook, or you can shoot some tweets at us as well if you would like to. So go ahead and tweet out at us at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live. I actually had this great little tweet come out from, I believe, this morning. Danny Mills is letting us know that he was out on the Richmond's course, actually 1 hour and 2 minutes and 42 seconds, actually. Solid effort, it looks like, there from Danny Mills. Quick little example of how you can tweet at us during the live racing here. At Z Community Live. A lot of times people get that a little confused. So at Z and then Community Live, and you can get right on into the broadcast. We will also be able to bring in your comments as well through the Facebook. Right on, coming from Steph Garnier. Good to have you here, as well as Robert Minix is saying, head surgery so I can't ride. I'm so jealous. Along with CT issues, a handshake was Zwift. I'm so sorry to hear that, Robert Minix. Hopefully you get better soon. And looking forward to you being able to ride again soon. I'm sure that, the indoor riding at one point, though, a lot of times injuries are one of the reasons that it is used. So hope to see you back out on Zwift really soon. We do see some attacks, though, immediately. This is one of the sections out on course to be watching out for. They're doing 2 laps, and right from the get-go, oh my goodness, this is actually a flatter section of the course. Now, you can see in the upper right-hand corner here, there's the flat here that they do have on the Richmond World Course to begin with. They hit the cobbled section, that little bit of a climb, and then they head on toward the 2 sprint banners. Up here, you can see their current gradient that they are on. We're looking at Mr. Brandon Meltingtalo here coming out of Canada. Riding for the KISS Racing Team, you can see KISS Racing Team, the organizers of today's race, but they also have a kit in-game. They are the KRT team. As you can see, Brandon does have that in his name there. He actually races during the day out of Canada from, I think it is he's in some sort of indoor power generator from a waterfall, I believe, or something along those lines. He's at some sort of a dam, like he's like at a big old dam that he hangs out in, where they are doing maintenance on the dam there in order to keep power coming to his local area. I believe that's where he's riding out of. Actually, they actually have their trainers set up inside the tech area for that, where they do all of the, I think, some of the engineering and stuff. So I was told that the last time that we brought him in through our software, we were able to bring him in for the live efforts of him, almost in a Zwift on board type style, and he was in this dome. It looked like it was interesting, underground almost. So Brandon there coming from work, I think, hammering away for his lunch hour here. Pete Szerzynski now coming out of Poland, now up toward the front here, and it looks like Peter Szerzynski, 4.8 watts per kilogram, caught up to Brandon and Adam Webb from Vision Cycling, and they have brought it all back together for a lead group. It looks like of what we got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders off the front. G Junior here coming out of Brazil. Podzaline here as well, coming out of the US of A. We got B Roller here dragging the whole group right on back up to the rest of the riders here to go Power Ranger there with B Roller on the Z Power there. But it is going to be Gavin Richardson right along with D Christensen and Gavin Arbor here, sitting underneath 305 watts. 305 watts, Gavin. Let's go. Regent Park Ruler, shout out to him, and the rest out of the UK. 4.2 watts per kilogram or so. But he's going to have to kick it up here a little bit if he's going to be able to hold on to that steady zone. I know he likes to hang out in about 305. Arbor not quite hanging out where you need to there, it looks like. But nice job. We'll see if he's able to hang on with the group, though, with the rest of his Innovation boys. Innovation Cycling, recent addition to the teams out on Zwift. You can see all the different kits that they do have in game. KISS Racing Team on the right hand side here, as you can see, 2 riders there. Innovation is showing up. All the Alienware kits are most likely Innovation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Innovation Takeover today. We do have at the back of the group here a KISS Racing Team rider. Not sure who that is. Tucker. It is going to be Tucker here, actually. Trying to tuck, able to hang on, fades at 163 beats per minute. So going to be going backwards as he gets caught by G Rain, M Mason, and L Sousa here from the PTZ team. They're going to be in solo effort until the B riders do catch them. Up to the front, we do have Van Spinach in there from Innovation. Let's keep on. Let's see who else is here from Innovation. Van Spinach. We also have, it looks like, D Christensen. Looks like also Giron is here, though. Jay Giron there. Hammering away from the KRT as well, I believe from the Isle of Man. Solid effort from him. So 3 KRT riders. One of the favorites, though, for sure, winner of the CVR World Cup in London, Tim Cartwright, recently threw down an in real life 18 and some change 10-mile TT, I was told. This boy can absolutely kill it. I believe Dowsett's in some 17 and some change, and that's world top world championship type efforts there coming from Dowsett. So being only under a minute or maybe right around a minute off of that kind of a time, Tim Cartwright, definitely one to be watching out for here today. But he's going to be battling out most likely with another favorite out there, which is going to be Adam Webb from Vision Cycling. A couple of the Van Spinach, though, from Innovation, one to be watching out for as well. I think those are probably the favorites. But we do have a few flying under the radar maybe here. We've got Richmond here coming out of the Netherlands. Unfamiliar with this rider. We'll have to open up zwiftpower.com, get an idea of exactly what kind of power this rider can throw into the pedals here in just a moment. We got a few more questions and comments coming through. When are we getting some new courses? Barry P. Zelmer, patience is a virtue. I believe they're on their way, though. And the new courses or expansions, one or the other, I believe we'll see. I can only guess, but I believe we'll see either new courses or expansions in the future. But again, those will come down the road. You know, we're in the summer season, probably aiming toward, who knows, but probably aiming toward, I would think, October, November, December, when we get into the Zwifting season, quote unquote. Matthew Brewer saying, see if the afternoon round can compete with this morning's great race. Matthew Brewer says this morning was a great race. The Wahoo, I did the Wahoo Tour de Oz actually broadcast, and that was a killer race out on the Richmond World's Course. Super, super exciting. And Richmond World Course, man, one of the best courses for racing. That is for sure, especially with these kickers at the end. As soon as we hit those three, there's just a succession of action out on course over and over again. The riders have to just throw down huge wattage in order to stick with any of the breaks that do end up happening. So back with the live results, though. Over on zwiftpower.com right now, taking a look at who is coming through the latest checkpoints. And as I can see here, Cartwright, 3 wins over the last races that he's done. Let's take a quick look. We were talking about him a little bit. 375 watt FTP. He's done 191 races out on Zwift and does have a Zotto approver badge next to his name, meaning that he has proven he can hold over 5 watts per kilogram in real life on a strange gauge power meter for his functional threshold, or at least a functional threshold power test at 20 minutes or so. Looking through here, I do see that Ridkin here out of the Netherlands now does have 4 races, actually, a newer rider to the world of Zwift, it looks like here. And it looks like he is actually new to the world of racing out on Zwift, so it's good to have him. Again, a rider flying on the radar, but now he's at 0 watts per kilogram. Looks like he was just getting to a cigar and tuck there real quickly. So maybe somebody to be watching out for. He took up 5th in the WBR 4-lap race, hanging out amongst toward the front of this race, 152 beats per minute. According to the metrics that Zwift Power did collect from him, he does max out at 175 so far. It's about 20 beats under his threshold right now. So definitely at a or not his threshold, at his max. So definitely hanging out at a pretty high heart rate right now. We'll see if he can hang on with these boys as they get through the climbs, as they head into the industrial compacto, most likely, until they hit those climbs. Until they hit those climbs, I have a feeling it's going to be these riders all sticking together until that point out on course. Up toward the front of the C race, well, let's wait as we wait for these riders to hit some of the more intense and points of the course where we're going to see a little bit more action. We do have the C category race, though, making their way around toward the sprint section, or just past the sprint section out on course today. We do have C Andy here right along with A Murray now, with a little bit of an aero power up, actually looking over his shoulder. He's getting a little bit of a gap now with that aero power up. Let's see what's happening here from the top view. We've got Vestergaard then out of Denmark trying to follow up with the drafting power up, and it looks like these two got about a 10 to 14 meter gap at this point, and that is actually a threat. B Harris trying to close that down, 3.6 watts per kilogram. Now, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen over there, 3.9 watts per kilogram coming from Vestergaard. He is over threshold right now because the C category riders are assumed to hold 3.2 or less watts per kilogram for their functional threshold power. So they are holding what is assumed to be hold for about 20 minutes or less for these riders. And so looking through here, you can see that they are starting to break things apart a little, are hanging out right around that 3.2, 2.7, so it's very difficult ride at this point for the C riders. A. Frazier here, 2.7 watts per kilogram. We've got Vangstad as well coming in at, it looks like about 2.8. So they're right on that level of 2.5 to 3.2 for all the C categories. So what's up with the categories? Real quick, for those who do not know, A category events or races are 4.0 or higher. These riders in the B category just ahead, not these riders in front of you, but there's a category right ahead, are assumed to hold 3.2 to 4.0 watts per kilogram. The riders in the C category are 2.5 to 3.2, and the riders in the D category that started right behind this one are 2.5 or less. And they actually start them separately in the KISS races. And the reason that they do that is so that the people in each category can't jump onto riders who are faster than them, gain an advantage by putting in a quick little dig VO2 max effort, and then hold on to a bunch of riders that ride above that level of the rest of the D or the C or the B category, and they can all hang on to a category above, get an advantage from that. And so this is a different kind of race in that they start them separately with about a 2-minute gap between them, so everybody races against those who are around their ability level. Some of the races do start mass start though, and it's just a different kind of racing. It's going to have a different skill set. Those who do have a higher VO2 max or sprint type effort, a higher drill effort, and can really throw down some big wattage quickly, but maybe not have a good threshold and be able to hold steadily for a very, very long period of time, they still could sit in though and get an advantage from that. So those riders are a little bit more favored in a category, unless you're in the A category, but those riders in the C and the D and the B category that are able to have those higher efforts for shorter periods of times are going to be favored during those mass start races. This race is going to favor more toward what do you got amongst those who are in your ability level. And we are currently looking at the C ability level where they are holding 2.5 to 3.2. That is just an estimation of what these riders can hold for 1 hour straight. You take that power that they can hold for 1 hour straight. You look above me, you see wattage up there, 223, 226. That's the current wattage from Shields with a heart rate of 180 beats per minute. Not many riders have over a max of 180 to 190 or so. So that is a crazy, crazy heart rate here coming from Mr. A. Shields right now. And so a lot of times these riders here then are holding 2.6. That is a ratio then of 2.5, 2.6. That is his weight that you can see the wattage above me divided by his weight in kilograms in every live moment on the far right-hand side. That is that ratio there. And so continually you're seeing right on that 2.8 to 3.2. And that's what we mean by a watt per kilogram ratio for where their ability level. That is really one of the best ways to tell where someone's fitness is. FTP, functional threshold power. What can you hold for 20 minutes to an hour straight? It's really an estimation of 1 hour straight. But so SY here then up at the front. B. Harris, Law, as well as Campbell and Bunting, all toward the front of this C category race right now. And it looks like we are heading into Libby Hill, though, with the A category. The action is starting up now from the A's. Up toward the front, we do see S. Kuhn here now, out of Germany, 5.6 watts per kilogram. Let's go ahead and give him a ride on. He has fallen off, though, from the leaders as Cartwright kicks up over the top here. We are seeing 8 watts per kilogram, 185 beats per minute. Webb now just hanging onto that wheel. Innovation is going as well with Kay Augustine. Then we got the Melty Man here coming from the KRT team. They've got a full-on 9 seconds, boys and girls, over the rest of the riders, over the top of Libby Hill. The Cobble Climb has completely blown things apart at this point. Grimshaw, 12 seconds back, no continuance, 184 beats per minute. Heart rate is coming through the roof and up and out of his lungs at this point because Innovation with Webb, Cartwright, and Melting Tallow now with 2 KRTs at the front. And actually, actually the Melting Man with a counterattack. Unexpected there. Cartwright now going to 6 watts per kilogram, trying to go along with his teammate. Gets in that Sagan tuck, looking for a little extra energy. Webb grabs onto the wheel there. Augustine is off the back, though. Can he close it down as they hit that uphill? Innovation now on the back foot, and 3 off the front as Melting Man, the KRT boys, now kicking it one more time into 23rd Street. He's got a feather power up, though, boys and girls. The RNG is in his favor now, as we are seeing Webb trying to follow it up there, but Cartwright now trying to get back on terms. Cartwright, the strongman, now on the back foot as his teammate kills it on the front here. The Melting Man is melting the field today, but Webb has got an answer here now, though. Is Brendan going to be able to hang on to the juggernaut, who is Adam Webb now? Cartwright now 9 watts per kilogram says, no, boys, you ain't going nowhere. I'll give it a little more kick, and grabs right onto that wheel. Melting Tallow maybe a little too much too early. He had that feather power up. Now the fade, though, that was a crazy effort, and maybe too much for the riders as they kicked into just 0 watts per kilogram. As soon as they hit the top, they just wanted some reprieve. They're trying to drop off Webb. He's 1 second back now. There is no continuance. Webb gets into the Sagan tuck, and we do see it is 42 miles per hour. Webb now 43, though, able to get right back on, it looks like. And within 1 meter, the draft is there. We got 3 off the front, and Innovation gone off the back there with 13 seconds for K. Augustine coming out of New Zealand. Let's see if the Kiwi can get back on terms up and over the top of Governor Street, but I don't think these boys are slowing down for anybody, as there is a huge pack of super strong riders that's going to be chasing them down for the full duration of the flat section out on course, without any climbs throughout the next section out on course for these 2 laps. Going into the second lap, they're going to hit this entire flat sprint section out on the Richmond Worlds course, and these boys are going to have a whole lot of time to try and close things down. So if Cartwright and Melting Tallow work well together, that'll be fine, but Webb is just going to sit on and be comfortable, I think, at this point, to use the effort from the KRT. So the KRT team are going to be in a little bit of maybe a conundrum here, because they got the strongman Webb sitting on their wheel while they have to work together in order to keep the chasers from catching them. So using a lot of energy there, and I have a feeling that Webb's not going to really care maybe too much. We'll have to wait and see, though. Maybe he'll work with the KRT and just want to grab that top spot. But now we have Cartwright saying, I don't care. I'm just going to go away. That's my plan. I'm not waiting for anybody working for anybody. It's Governor Street climb. Let's go 6 watts per kilogram and just set it. Now Webb trying to hang on to that wheel. We've got Melting Tallow here as well, 155. Cartwright now kicking up into 6 watts per kilogram still. And then we've got Webb here as well, hanging on to the wheel right behind. Trzynski, Grimshaw, as well as the... Is this going to be actually A.D. Annabelle as well, out of Italy here, trying to hang on to the wheel? Looks like he's going to be in part of this 3-man chase group. There is a straight line, though, of Innovation boys trying to hang on to the wheels behind here. Are they going to be able to do it, though, is the question. Still, 6 watts per kilogram climbing, though. They're trying to close it down. 12 seconds is the difference now to the Melting Man as well as Cartwright and Webb. We look over the shoulder. We can see the chase back behind there, still within sights now, and it is only 9 seconds. That will continue to go out, though, as Webb kicks it into 6 watts per kilogram. If he has continuance over the top here, they will gain speed on this flat into the start-finish line and start their second lap out on course. And this is where they gain the most time, actually, because these riders are going much slower up and over the top. But Grimshaw still kicking 6.5 watts per kilogram or so, 20 miles per hour, actually. I think going a little bit faster than those boys up ahead, but he's dropping everybody else off, and it looks like he wants to go solo now in order to catch those boys up ahead. It might be in his advantage not to do so, but if nobody else can put down the kind of watts he is, then it's going to be in his interest then to try and close it down right now. But Grimshaw now fading to 4.0 watts per kilogram. Doesn't look like he's got the effort, though, to make it happen. It is going to be Christensen along with Trzynski, Arbor there. Richardson off the back by 10 seconds. We got a chase group of itself as they head into the next lap. Annabelle now trying to get on Grimshaw's wheel. Looks like a little bit of a gap to Christensen now. Innovation's got to get organized. They're dropping people off rather than working together, and it looks like 4.4 watts per kilogram. It's out to 22 seconds. Cartwright's not letting anything come back, I do not believe. With 22 seconds, they can kind of back off a little bit. allow themselves to get a little bit of reprieve and start getting organized at 4.0 plus watts per kilogram for the rest of the course here today. Looks like we got a couple of questions and comments coming in from the Mixer channel. Good to see all you guys tuning in. Borrowed Ball, good to see you there over at the Mixer channel. Roger's saying Cartwright got 18:06 in a 10-mile TT on a slow course. Whew, absolutely fine. Good to see you there as well, Sunken Arthur. Thanks for tuning in over at the Mixer channel. We're going to go ahead and check out what's going on with our social media integration. And it looks like Thea's tuning in. Speaking of ZA a little bit earlier, one of our ZA riders, ride leaders actually tuning in. Thea Freestead, good to have you here. Says, wow, strong efforts over at the face of the book. Matthew Brewer saying, good work to the KRT boys. Going to be a web chase. That is for sure. Kerry Golland now cheering on Team Innovation. Emily Mullins in the house. Good to see her. Hi to all the racers, newbies, and veterans watching it all from Zwift HQ. Ride on. Thanks for tuning in, Emily. Good to see you hanging out in the broadcast today. So looking right here now, it looks like Cartwright now sitting in 3.3 or so, 147 beats per minute, allowing that heart rate to come down. This is the tactical section out on course. They're going to take this right-hand turn, though, into the cobbles, and sometimes we do see attacks here, almost actually always. Amongst these three, though, a lot of strength, so maybe not a whole... Actually, no, there it is. As we said, as soon as it starts going uphill, the draft does not matter quite as much. And Cartwright, this is a serious attack. He wants to break anybody who wants to go with him at this point. And we just saw 13 watts per kilogram for a moment. Now he's going to hold it at 11 to try and get that initial break. He gets it into 4 seconds, allows his cadence to rest. You know that was a full-on sprint because he rested for a second, then went right back into what's going to be a threshold effort for him. Melting Man now is hanging out with Webb here, and he is going to try and hold Webb back, maybe? We'll have to see. He's putting in a little bit of chase, then breaks it down, puts in a little bit of chase, makes sure that Webb doesn't go anywhere, and just follows and follows and follows any chase. I think Webb may be unable to chase this down now, as he knows that Melting Man is just going to sit on his wheel. He's going to kick one more time, though. 6.4 watts per kilogram then. And then Cartwright, though, on the front here, 3 seconds up the road, 5.9 watts per kilogram. Kicks one more time. Does not wet Webb to get back onto his wheel. 20 meters is the difference at this point. Into 6.2 watts per kilogram. Webb there at 0.4 now, 3.6, not quite on that wheel again. It is a race of meters. It's always a race of just 1 or 2, well, not 1 or 2, 5 or more meters, as the draft is not there unless you are within 5 meters. Webb might just be playing games there with Melting Man, actually, as he is trying to, I believe, drop off Brandon at this point, though. 6.7 watts per kilogram coming from Cartwright now. 179 beats per minute at this point. So what he's trying to do is continually hold on to the effort that will just break Webb, that eventually Webb's heart rate will just get too high, will not have any more effort in there, and he won't be able to close it down. But it looks like it's going to happen, and then nothing's going to happen here except for the Melting Man having to throw down his arrow power up to get back on terms. They've opened it up to about 33 seconds back to the B-Roller Go-Go Power Rangers here with B-Roller now. Even the Mighty Morphins are not able to close it down to the Melting Man, Webb, and Cartwright. Melting Man with that arrow power-up, though, goes right on by Webb and Cartwright after their crazy attacks. Cartwright kicks again, sees that Webb might be in a spot of bother, unable to hang on to his teammate's wheel here. They're kicking one more time. Will the Melting Man give him a wheel, though, to hang out with? Now, he goes flying right on by Melting Man, though, as they head into the sprint section now. He's got a 1 second gap over Webb now, looking back over his shoulder, 180 beats per minute. Cartwright doesn't beat much higher than that. He's not much of a butterfly when it comes to the heart rate there. I think he maxes out somewhere in the low 180s. So he's definitely in a whole lot of hurt right now, trying to make this break happen. It is out to 3 seconds. Webb doesn't seem to have much more than 5.3 at this point. He kicks into 6 and then has to back off, kicks into 5.2, now 0, now 4.5. You can see he's really suffering to hold any kind of constant effort at this point. Cartwright may have broken the juggernaut now at this point, but there goes Webb again, 6.7, 6.8. Cartwright here maybe having to rethink the tactics at this point if he's going to be able to hold on to 30 miles per hour. Webb now just trying to get away, it looks like, from the Melting Man. Now fading one more time, 3.4 watts per kilogram as he hangs out and waits for the Melting Man to come around him. Looks like Melting Tallow now 3.0, just slowing down Adam Webb, 30 miles per hour. We see a consistent here from Cartwright now, 3 seconds up the road, 21 meters. And he might have done it. We'll have to see if he can hold 5.0 plus, but eventually it's got to drop. After a continual effort going into those orange numbers time and time and time again, eventually you're not going to be able to hold threshold. I know Cartwright's got a solid threshold effort of somewhere around a 5.5, 5.6 or something, or even maybe more than that. I think it's maybe even more than that, maybe in the 5.8s or so. 14 watts per kilogram. Webb wants it to be done and over with, and Melty Man now kicking into his well, 9.7, just trying to get back on terms with the attack from Webb. They're trying to just whittle down, at least Webb is trying to whittle things down. Cartwright's trying to do it as well to get rid of the Vision Rider on this flatter section. Of course, they're definitely showing us a good show today. We thought it was going to be Grupo Compacto through this entire section, but they are not waiting for the climbs, boys and girls. They are throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at each other. 38 seconds back to Grimshaw now. Grimshaw and the others only 37 seconds, even with all these attacks now. It is still only 37 seconds to these chases and 14 seconds back to the Innovation Boys, with Richardson on the front here, steady all day long. 2.8 now, fading a little bit. Maybe he's thinking it's game over, and they're going to be looking for a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th for the Innovation Boys working together up against Mr. Peter Strzezinski here. He's got 4v1, though. 4v1 Innovation versus Strzezinski out of Poland. So B-Roller up at the front here on the Mighty Morph, and then Grimshaw hanging on now. 32 seconds up to the Melting Man, Cartwright, and Webb. They've settled down, and it's time to hold hands maybe just a little bit. Dig in. Well done. Top efforts all around, saying Carrie Golan over at the Facebook on Zwift's Facebook. If you haven't done so already, this is Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race. We do daily broadcasts of either group rides, race workouts, races, as well as some workout mode stuff. So definitely head on over to Zwift Community Live's Facebook. Throw us that follow if you're over at either YouTube, Twitch, or else the Mixer. Make sure to smash that follow button that is on those pages as well if you're enjoying the broadcast, to get notifications of any time that we do go live. Grimshaw now 5.0 watts per kilogram here, as you can see, able to pull things in. It looks like 177 beats per minute. Now it's up to 37 seconds, so it doesn't look like it's coming back anytime soon. Back to the front of the C race, though, it looks like things are definitely getting crazy in the C race, as we do have, it looks like, up toward the front. Things actually got completely blown apart through the climbs, as they usually do. We have BJ Alfonso here, long-time Zwifter from way back into the beta, actually, hammering away. Is he actually on the Cervelo S5? Was he a part of beta? I do not see the... he's got the Envies on, though, I believe, rather than the Zips. But the Zip 808s with the disc do let you know that the rider, it was in beta, though, if they do ride with that full disc in the back from the beta testing. But now we do have Bunting here right along with Wall and Harris in the C category. We do have an Aero Power up there being thrown down. S Wall now 3.7 watts per kilogram. Again, these riders for their threshold 3.2, so they are over effort at this point. 3.5, 3.8, 3.9, putting in a dig to try and hold on to that 31-second gap that Korsman is hammering away at right now. 159 beats per minute. B Harris now 162. We'll give him a ride on along with Bunting, and it looks like Rougeron here out of France trying to hold on to Harris's wheel. Bunting there riding for Vision Second. We'll give him a ride on as well. Now we'll go ahead and pop over his head and jump into his back pocket. Korsman now out of the Netherlands, though, 3.7 watts per kilogram, trying to chase this down. So the idea here, though, 151, 160 or so, a steady effort up at the front now. As you can see, we do see the French rider here at 146, but are definitely putting out a crazy effort in the C race. And the whole idea here is that cycling made social, the ability to ride with anybody at any level that you need to in order to have consistent competition out on the world of Zwift here. And so these riders are definitely putting in a similar type as far as the physical effort, the perception of what they are doing, how hard it is for these riders is most definitely similar similar to what they are experiencing at the front end of the A and the B and the C race. All the riders here, 160 beats per minute, 160 beats, 166 beats per minute. Threshold feels like threshold across the board, right? So if you are at your threshold, you're over your threshold, it feels the same across the board to all the riders. It might actually be more difficult for riders who are a little less trained, actually. If you're not used to being at threshold, it can be even more painful as you're not used to hammering away at that continual burning effort, actually, in the legs, to have that constant lactic acid building up. So the C, the B, and the D riders sometimes put in a more valiant effort when it comes to the perception of the effort, the amount of pain that they're going through. The boys at the front end of the A races a lot of times are very used to the kinds of efforts that they are throwing down. Speaking of the front end of the A's right now, we do have Webb and the Melting Man Webb and Cartwright have dropped off the Melting Man. We'll see if he can stick together here and hold it down, hold off the Power Ranger coming on with B Roller as well, who's about 40 seconds back right now. Richardson here now at 5.9 watts per kilogram or so, and it looks like Richardson has been able to break off the rest of the Innovation boys. No love lost between them. As you can see, he's saying goodbye and is out of sight, out of mind here at 22 seconds up from the rest of his Innovation group. Maybe they were just letting him go and communicate and saying, okay, Richardson, we know you're the strong man amongst us. Go ahead and try and chase down Grimshaw and the others. And he is doing just that at 5.8 watts per kilogram. Has almost caught them, looking for a fifth place out there today. He might even catch the Melting Man as well, as he has faded off from the front end and is looking for maybe to hunt down a third place here today in the race. Webb now up ahead, 21 seconds or so. It's going to be a battle for first place as they hit Libby Hill, followed by 23rd Street, and then it will be the Governor Street climb to the finish line. Let's start hearing your predictions as we are coming into the finish here. Will it be Webb? Will it be Cartwright? Will it be a chase from some of the chase groups that'll catch back up? I don't think that's going to happen with the two juggernauts off the front, barring some sort of crazy mechanical between the two. Look at this. This is crazy. So we've got Taylor Swift, one of our big fans, over at the one of our fans coming in from it looks like London. She's over on the London course in her Twitter profile, at least, letting us know heading to the Richmond from London at Zwift Community Live. So always traveling on over. Heading on over to Richmond from London at Z Community Live. Thanks a lot, Taylor Swift. Appreciate the comment there and the tweet. One of the as soon as the crowds were released, as soon as the spectators were released out on the course of London, Taylor Swift had this profile picture out there. We found out she was actually one of the crowd who was just hidden in the background of Zwift the entire time until they suddenly appeared out on the London course, and now has finally gotten her picture out on the London course. We're having a little bit of a difficulty here when we switch between the computers, it looks like, for the mouse for some reason, guys. I am getting a little bit, once in a while, a stutter there. Apologies on that. We probably need a restart on the computer after the broadcast here. We will be able to hang out here with you, though. For some reason, there is a little bit of a lag. That is on my end. It is not on your end. Sorry about that. We at least do have things pretty consistent. But we do have Webb here now. 4.0 watts per kilogram, it looks like, with Cartwright. And then the Melting Man now, 24 seconds back. We're waiting for that attack up and over the top. Back in the C race, then again, we are seeing it is going to be Murray here, a part of this chase group. We've got a solid chase group here with Vangstead, T. Scott from the BRT team, Bolt Racing team. They haven't got any mentions just yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at that kit. I was also seeing, actually, just a little ways back, I believe Zwift HQ rider was hanging out in the race for a second there, but I think we lost him there. But up toward the front there, we are seeing the chase group, main chase group, starting to actually break apart with Deep Pouncey here out of the USA, putting in a little dig on the man out of the other man there, Brookfield there as well. Korsman now, though, 3.6 watts per kilogram all day long out of the Netherlands, 30 seconds up. We are seeing like Harris, Wall, and a few others able to catch some of the B riders who are off the back from the front end of the B race. Bunting here, 3.2 watts per kilogram, right along with Rugen, still at the front end of this C category race on the flat section of the course. Very tactical race being played out right now. In the B category, let's move forward and see what's happening as they are heading in to their sections that are going to really break things apart when they hit the climbs. It is going to be Christensen here along with Betteridge, and as well as Kane from Innovation, G. Moore there as well now, as G. Moore is now kicking into 4.6 watts per kilogram. A large group at the front end of the B category, though, still 10 to 15 riders or so. So epic effort here by all those riders, but still definitely sitting in and not going much of anywhere as they wait for the climbs to come. All right, as they are heading into Libby Hill, this is going to be the final attacks, as we do have Cartwright along with Webb, and it looks like Cartwright does have a little bit of a gap on Webb. There was an initial attack, but it hasn't gone anywhere. Cartwright v. Webb now out on the Richmond course. They head on up into Libby Hill now, and this is the final moments that are going to matter. 176 beats per minute. Cartwright doesn't have many more to work with. I think Webb's got a whole lot to work with here still, and Webb now 5.6 watts per kilogram, 6.8. Now we're seeing Cartwright kick one more time to 8.0. Can he hang on? 180 beats per minute. Webb now 158. He doesn't max out too high though. Webb always with that lower heart rate. So watch out as Cartwright goes right on by 160 beats per minute, really putting Webb on the back foot. And now Cartwright trying to get away. 183 beats per minute, 546, 104 the last time up and over the top. What are they doing this time through? Looks like 104.9 is going to be the best we're going to see. Not quite as fast this time around. And now Webb with some continuance, though. Now zero, though, as a little bit of a fade. And I think that's where Cartwright might be able to get an advantage, as we do know that Webb likes to kick and then fade over and over again. Cartwright now just sitting in the tactics. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. Oh, my gosh. It's so classic. The end of a race. Nobody wants to go anywhere. Nobody wants to put any more effort in. They have just completely ruined themselves, ended themselves out on course, and then they go again. Straight decorating, it looks like, the entirety. Oh, my goodness. On the downhill, attacking into 9 watts per kilogram with an aero power-up. This might be it. I think Webb has seen the end at this point. 0 watts per kilogram. It is all over. I think Cartwright throws down the aero power up, and it's definitely in his favor with the RNG, but he fades to 0. There's like nothing left, or maybe there is. He was just waiting just a few seconds to gain just a little bit more ATP, just a little bit more energy before he hits the uphill. But now Webb's got 11 watts per kilogram to give on the climb into this 11% gradient. Can he close it down? It's 2 seconds. He's got 10 watts per kilogram now. Cartwright trying to stay away, but he's unable to do so. Now 8 watts per kilogram. He's back on terms, it looks like. Webb, what an effort there. It's going to be about, I think, the RNG up and over the top here. The random number game as they hit the KOM for the 23rd Street. What are they going to grab? An aero power-up would end it at this point, I think. Webb now sitting on again. Can he go, though? Looks like they fade again. 0 watts per kilogram again. I think Cartwright's got his number, though, at this point. He's figured out that Webb has nothing but little kicks over and over again. He's got 10 meters, but he has to continue. But he cannot. He's completely ruined at this point. 1.5 watts per kilogram. Again, all he can do. It's like Rocky at this point, man. Just slugfest. One after another. One's on the ropes, and the other one brings the other one into the corner. It's 3 seconds, though. He can't close down 3 seconds when they're doing nothing. There's no watts per kilogram, but they can't do anything with it. It looks like Cartwright now lets his heart rate drop by 10 beats, though. He's going to have something to work with. 5.4 watts per kilogram. Webb just has nothing left, it looks like. Completely ruined. Cartwright now 5.6 watts per kilogram, 170 beats per minute, but he is faded now, it looks like, from that 180. I'm not sure he's going to be able to go there again, or he's just waiting for Governor Street and wants that climb. 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It continues to go out, but little by little, little now, and it looks like perhaps it's all over after a lap and almost 2 laps out on the Richmond World Score. Cartwright looks like he's got daylight at this point. It's out to 6 seconds, and he is completely walking away now with this effort. Maybe Webb is saving up for the climb, but no, he's getting ride-ons and encouragement, but it looks like it's over. Cartwright, the juggernaut, makes it happen for the KRT team. What a duel to the end. The two strongmen out on course. And here's the thing, it wasn't like they sat in, it wasn't like they made it a crazy tactical just sit-in race. They did nothing but burn matches all race long. Webb now, though, with a final kick, though, maybe. He goes up into 6 watts per kilogram. Cartwright thought for a second maybe that it was all over, that he had the space, but now Webb trying one more time with the aero power-up into the climb, 10 watts per kilogram. Cartwright with a feather power-up, though, lighten that avatar up by a full watt per kilogram, 181 beats per minute, though. Can he keep the heart rate driving up any further? Maybe a new max heart rate for the all-time now. 6.7 watts per kilogram. Webb now, he tried, boys and girls, but it's all over. He says, too good. Well, if you're putting out an 18-minute 10-mile TT, you better be good, right? 184 beats per minute. Webb now, though, he's been broken by the teammate of the Melty Man. The Melty Man's got a little bit of fire underneath him at this point. Chasing him down is Grimshaw and B Roller. Melty Man better go. It's only 1 second now as Webb here is still being chased down by those boys too. And if you go full nuclear in cycling, for those of you who are familiar, you know that once you've blown up, it is off the back. So Webb needs to get on the front, at least of his effort right now, and keep it going because he's being chased down. Nobody. Oh no, Cartwright now with a fade. Oh, he's not, he's putting such an effort at this point. 25 seconds. He's got some wiggle room. It's just make sure nobody comes on at this point. Will he give us a little show or just put his arms up in the air? He's got plenty of space to work with. He has earned it out on course today, boys and girls. What an effort there from Tim Cartwright. Absolutely insane. Great job to Tim. Across the line here for the KISS Racing team in the KISS Europe race. Wins it for KRT today. Solid effort there, Tim Cartwright. Let's give that man some ride-ons. What an amazing effort there. Adam Webb now coming in. Cheers to him as well. Nice job to him. 3.0 watts per kilogram. Tried to take down the man Cartwright, but he's got nothing but wins lately out on course. He's a tough nut to crack here. So now, Webb coming across the line, 156. It looks like it's going to be second place. Grimshaw able to catch Melty Man. Poor Brandon Meltingwell Tallow. He was with the boys up front, but got blown up by the efforts and now is going to bring it in for fourth place. Grimshaw with a solid effort, though. Bring it in for third. Able to chase it down, steady Eddie all day long. It looks like was able to bring it back in. Melty Man for fourth place. Nice job to him. B Roller on the Go-Go Power Rangers throwing down the Morphins and is going to take fifth place today. It looks like Gavin Richardson here able to hold off Strzezinski. Innovation made it happen for fifth place today and was able to get away in that 4v1 and send one of their boys up front to take fifth place on the day in the KISS Europe out on the Richmond World's course. All right, the Kiwis coming in here. D. Christensen now just about 8 meters up from Peter. Peter's not going to be able to do this, but he's going to have, I don't believe, unless he's got one solid kick, maybe he can do it. I spoke too soon here, boys and girls. Look at Strzezinski here, one last kick, but Christensen sees him coming. 197 beats per minute. That is a painful effort, but Strzezinski's coming on like a maniac in the last 100 meters. He's got 10 watts per kilogram. It's going to be Peter Strzezinski across the line, followed by Christensen, and then Gavin Arbor. More than 305 watts there, Arbor. Looks like you're doing it wrong for the workout plan, but nice job ruining yourself. And straight decorating the field there up ahead of your teammate from Innovation. Nice job there to Gavin Arbor. So moving back now, let's go ahead and head into the C category race as they are making their way one last time up and over the top. Actually, no, the B category race, excuse me. One last time up and over the top of 23rd Street. We do see Rigdervold here now from Innovation, 160 beats per minute. Tiffin is there as well out of Australia. Carlson now with Team WBR trying to chase them down. It looks like 10 seconds back. Aldix is not going to be able to make this happen. 3 out the front in the B category. And looking through here, we do have a few questions coming through over at the What is this picture coming through here? Kim Little. What is going on with Kim Little? This is such a great tweet here, Kim Little. And the Merida Factory Racer picture coming in is Kitty Little Racing. I haven't seen Kitty Little out on course just yet. Merida Factory Racing hanging out with a cat on his head. Not sure what category the cat is in there, but good to see you there, Kim Little. Miss you out on course. One of the strong men in the racing out on Zwift, riding for Team Experimental. Absolutely love it there, Kim. Thanks a lot for the tweet. Keith Cutter's asking, is this live or replay? Is most definitely live. Brian Danger Graver over at the Facebook is also saying, this is epic. Never used Zwift before. Always wanted to. Definitely get set up, as you can head on over to Zwift.com and see how to get started pretty easily to do so. He's also asking, how do you get the arrow power up? So every time that you come through a start finish banner, a KOM banner, or a sprint banner, you are able to grab a power up. And so there's a little ticker up above. It would actually be, I'll show you here real quickly. So as they head into the final climbs here, you can see right in this area, right above, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong feed, but right here on this area where my mouse is, right next to where it shows watching, if my Zwift Community Live wasn't there and I was on my avatar, I would actually see a little power-up circle where it can fill with a power-up that you would get. And it would go through like a ticker like you would see on Mario Kart or something when you hit one of those question marks. Well, anytime you go through a start-finish banner or a climb or a sprint banner, that's kind of like hitting the little question mark box on Mario Kart, actually. And it actually ticks through the power-ups, and you then land on one randomly, and then you can use it by using either spacebar or use your Zwift mobile link to hit the power-up button, which controls the game as well. All right, Tiffin is going now 6.5 watts per kilogram out of Australia, it looks like here. Able to drop off the innovation rider, Carlson, who went super early. He's throwing down the drafting power-up, which does decrease the amount of wattage he has to put out in order to hang on to the wheel. He does close it down now, it looks like. The gap is 6 meters. He's got to grab one more meter. He does do so. Grabs onto the wheel just barely, it looks like here. Is able to grab back onto the wheel of the innovation rider here. 6.7 watts per kilogram. Tiffin continues to go. He's got an arrow power up, though, after Carlson's already thrown down the drafting power up. 8 meters, 7 meters. It's right in that range of draft and no draft. 6 meters. Can he hold on? 180 beats per minute. Carlson's got the effort, though, to bring it back within the draft. He's going to rest up now, probably, and give one last kick to the line. But Tiffin continues to go away. It's just outside of, I think, the 5 meters at this point. One last kick to the line. Will Carlson have anything? Tiffin fades one more time. He's up and out of saddle and sits. Up and out of saddle and sits. There isn't any sprint effort. Now there it is. 10 watts per kilogram. But will he be able to do it? It looks like it's going to be innovation, though. Just barely able to nip him at the line. Carlson, followed by Tiffin out of Australia. And then it will be Rigdevold able to hold off the Team WBR boy as they went over the top of 23rd Street, able to get away. Innovation now with B. Christensen, able to get the better, though, of L. Dix, and that looks like that's going to be your top 5 today in the B category. Solid race to all of those boys in the B category as they make their way to the line. Moving backwards now, let's go ahead and see what's happening with Lindsey Guerra. Mistakes were made, boys and girls. We're accidentally in the... We are in the start-finish section. Let's see if we can get out of here. And, yeah, we did get out of here. But we may not be able to get back to the C category. Let's go back on over to the other feed here with M. Faruda, who's going to give us maybe an ability to head all the way back to the other C category riders. While we do that, let's go ahead and check out what's going on with the results as they are loading up to ZwiftPower.com here. And we did have Tim Cartwright with a solid 5.0 watts per kilogram for the duration of the entirety of 44 minutes. That was his average power for the duration of 20 minutes today. Excuse me, not 44 minutes. Absolutely killer effort out there today for Tim Cartwright. Adam Webb, solid effort at 4.6 watts per kilogram as well. Then we did have Tom Grimshaw there for 3rd place there, battling out just ahead of Brandy Meltingtowel for 4th place. And then Ben Roller on the Go-Go Power Rangers there, 4.6 watts per kilogram. Bringing it in for 5th place. 6th place does go to Gavin Richardson, followed by Peter Krasinski for 7th, Drew Christensen for 8th, Gavin Arbor for 9th, and Alessandro D. Annabelle was next. Moving our way backwards, I'm still trying to see if we can get who's going to get the win in the C category in just a moment here. We've almost found our way back to those boys here as Eskun just comes across the line from the A and B category. Nice job to him. Do have a few B riders still making their way to the line, as well as the C category boys just coming up over the top of the 23rd Street. We are back with Alistair Bunting from Vision Cycling, 180 beats per minute. Was able to get away from Wall as well as B. Harris. We'll give these guys a ride on as they battle it out to the finish line. We'll get the top 3 to 5 here as they battle it out to the line. Looks like we're going to have a battle for second, though, as Bunting was able to get away through the final climbs out on course, it looks like. Looking over his shoulder, he is out of sight, out of mind as far as the racing goes at this point on that Cervelo S5 with the zip wheels on that bike today. Over at the Mixer channel, looks like we've got a couple more tuning in. Good to see you there, 3Da. And as well as Gold Carlton, I'm new. Hi, how's it going? Killer Game again. Hi, how's it going there? As well as Messy Shark. Good to see you guys hanging out here at the channel. Anderson, Ian, our KISS racing team racer focus riders in the channel. Good to see you hanging out at the channel as well. A few more questions coming in, it looks like, through the social media as they come to the Ryan. Kerry Gold saying cheers, or clapping for everybody. Kyle Augustine is in there as well. Good to see Kyle Augustine saying great riding, guys. As well as Drew Kinson, full credit to Pete Szerzinski. And a few more questions. Brian saying, or Matthew Breyer saying, talking about power-ups. I appreciate you guys helping answer the questions over at the channel. All right, Alistair Bunting giving us one last little show to the line with B. Harris here now, as well as Rugerin now out of France with Wall just hanging on. It looks like 4 meters back. He's going to hang on to the wheels here. Not making his way to the front, though, out of Great Britain. Harris now representing Ireland, trying to get away from these boys. 12 seconds, though, was the difference. Bunting had a full-on 30 seconds at one point. Can he hold on? 179 beats per minute. Harris now kicking 5.5 watts per kilogram. One last effort to the line here. It's only 10 seconds. Bunting throwing down that feather power up to try and gain as much speed as he possibly can. 3.7, 3.5. Harris and Wall, as well as the Frenchman, the ringer, trying to close it down. He might be able to do so. A couple more efforts to the line. If they have any sprint efforts, they start working together with some sprint efforts and some kicks, they might actually see the front of this race again. It's not said and done just yet, but Bunting throwing one last effort into these pedals now. Harris now trying to close it down. 174, 175, up in this 5 watts per kilogram. As we were saying earlier, you saw the efforts that were being thrown down into those orange numbers, 7, 8, 9 watts per kilogram from the front end A's. But now in the B category, riders that can hold somewhere between 3.2 and 4.0, they are now throwing down into their over efforts, into their sprint, into their driller 1 to 2 to 3 minute efforts right now, because that's all that's left out on course. They're throwing all their chips on the table. What do they got? Showing their cards as it comes to the river here, and it looks like Bunting now 180 beats per minute, able to hold off B. Harris and the others. It's going to be a sprint to the line for Harris to hold off Wall. He might be able to do so. There is no draft on him. It is over 5 meters. Wall now just has the Frenchman sitting on his wheel, though, and no, he's broken him as well, so it's every man for himself. No drafts at this point. Bunting now just about to cross the line. 200 meters in the C category race. Looks like he is going to make this happen. Nobody able to hold on the wheels at this point, though. It looks like every man's going to be coming in their own solo TT. No sprints that are going to be happening, or at least tactical sprints where people are sitting on the wheels. Harris now 6.0 watts per kilogram with that aero power up. Bunting just crossed the line. Congratulations to him. Followed by Harris now with that aero power up. Wall there 4 seconds back. And it looks like that's going to be your top 3. Bunting, followed by Harris. And then it will be S-Wall with 100 meters to go. Excuse me. And that is the top 3 today in the C category. So that's going to be it for our coverage today out on Zwift for the KISS Europe race. A couple of things that we want to definitely tell you about what is coming up on Zwift Community Live. Tomorrow we will have the Friday Criterium coming up, as well as the Zwift Fitness Women's Group Ride. Make sure to tune in for that. Those will be happening tomorrow, 1 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time, as well as 10 p.m. Central Standard Time with the women's intro ride with Zwift Fitness, actually, Women's Gateway Ride. There are both events on Zwift, actually, so you can join those by heading on over to Zwift.com, through the mobile link. Actually, you can do so, or through the app. I believe you're able to find it through the app, maybe online right now, but definitely through the Zwift mobile link. You can definitely join actually through the Zwift mobile link. Go on over there, download the Zwift mobile link, and join the ride over there if you want to get into the Friday criterion, which we will be covering. We also have, like I said, the Zwift Fitness Women's Gateway Ride run by Zuskana. That's more of a group ride format that you can hang out with live, as well as in Discord. She does have Discord open, and people join in for a live chat with her, and she'll have a broadcast of that ride tomorrow night. A good group of guys and gals showing up to that 1.5 ride. It is a women's focus, but they do allow guys to kind of jump in and amongst them once in a while, as long as it's 1.5 or under. Timothy Tremont coming in and saying this was brutal. Sounds like it was a difficult race for sure. A couple other things going on out on Zwift right now. Definitely want to check them out. Obviously, the July challenge that is happening, the mission, July Rafa Rising mission throughout all of July. You can ride the 3 climbs out on Watopia. So coming up, as soon as we're out on Watopia again, you can hit up the challenge. And so look forward to next time we're out on Watopia and jump into the Rafa Rising Challenge. You can get that kit that you see right there that the riders are riding in. So definitely jump out on course. Also, always going on throughout the entirety of the day, the World Bicycle Relief and their team have their WBR rides, group rides, and races going on various times throughout every day. Always a great ride to jump into. Pretty competitive group, actually, out on course, supporting World Bicycle Relief. Definitely an awesome charity that raises a ton of awesome cash for a great effort over in Africa, giving away bicycles to those who need them for transportation to better their lives. Aussie Hump Day Ride, the largest ride out on Zwift, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. AEST, and a Les Odin ride, 7 p.m. AEST. 400 riders jumping in that Australian Hump Day ride. Definitely a great ride to jump into as well. Of course, the Zwift Academy has launched its registration. You did see Sonia Whiteman's story, her personal story from last year at the beginning of the broadcast. We're going to go ahead and show you what the Zwift Academy is all about and what happened last year. If you want to register, head on over to academy.zwift.com for the Women's Zwift Academy that has launched. Coming up real quick. The group rides have also started as well. So here's a little promo on that, and we will catch. I got to go coach some kids for mountain biking. I coach the local mountain bike NICA team, so I got to start that in about an hour though. So I got to get going, boys and girls. It was a great job to all the racers as always, and as always, guys, a huge ride on to everybody. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Friday criterion, and here's a little bit about the Zwift Academy. Cheers.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best, because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence, in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.